It's the hunger for success that makes you wanna push forward. Look deep within your soul, find that thing that holds you back. You gotta be persistent with the mission. It's a vision and decision to rise above the odds. Defeat all the haters, get your pen and your pad. Fortify your goals with the rhythm and flow. Glow like gold, let's show them what I'm made of and avoid the back of the glove. Trip excuses down the sink and make your way to success. It's an absolute test to overcome the inner enemy. 7 deadly within. It's a sin to sell yourself short like a midget. Up your digits, cease your fidgets. Hold strong, rock arm steady. Get ready, let's ride to the top. With zero mental flops, special ops with the hops. Cleaning with mops, dodging the cops. Learning our lessons for our moms and pops. The way is the life. So let the the way the life. Let's and you choose the way the life. The way the truth. Make your way cellular DNA art. So let's go meditate, elevate, levitate. Rise to the occasion, be patient. Success does not come quickly. Move swiftly, officially, make it count. Big boy moves, big girl moves, big man moves, big woman moves. Enjoy the process, that's a test of the quest to the west. Show zest, invest in your nest and be the best you can be. Dressed to impress. Express gratitude, appreciation to the ones before you. Let go of the stress. I suggest you progress your mind's willpower to devour the obstacles and challenges to become a champion. It's a great badge of honor to show yourself worthy in life's conquest. The never-ending cycle, school of learning. The way is the life. So let the the way the life. Let's and you choose the way the life. The way the truth. Make your way cellular DNA art. So let's go
Anything you're ever going to want to do that matters in your life is going to require persistence. You're going to overcome that problem that you thought was going to be the thing that threatened to unhinge you.
So let the way the life. Let's and you choose the way the life. The way the truth. Make your way cellular DNA art. So let's go all wise and civilized as we rise. Motivation is the action you need to succeed. Yes, indeed. Life is about growth and development. Soul searching success. Yes. The way I do well. Welcome back, Solar Family, to another Supreme Natural Intelligence, Sacred Culture, Sanctuary, La Blaze. We in the sanctuary to uplift the knowledge and wisdom, as always and as usual, my brothers and sisters. You know what time it is. We are on part 5 regarding the 33 laws of self-mastery. We're reaching our conclusion, the final videos in this series, and we're going to be moving forward and elevating the consciousness and the minds of the masses who are willing to listen and master themselves in live, dynamical, radical action. You know what time it is. So we're about to blaze it up and light it up as always and as usual. Let's go. Listen, coming through fire bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimals, mathematical root radicals. So see this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth. Alright, my brothers and sisters, let's get the show on the road as it pertains to the 33 hidden laws of self-mastery. The other day, we left off on 19, I believe. So let me move it forward to that. So the last one of self-mastery that we covered was integrity creates power. So now that we're on number 20 of self-mastery, the 33 hidden laws, I warmly invite you to listen keenly and listen razor sharply, because you're about to get that true knowledge, that true wisdom, that true inner standing, understanding, equal standing, overstanding, and outstanding once again. Because as always and as usual, you know we're about to hit that colossal, gigantic monstrosity, grand slammer, home run, bringing all this knowledge and wisdom all the way. You know the ritual, and that is a fire of truth. So let's get right to the matter at hand and let's break this down, my brothers and sisters. Number 20 in the art of self-mastery as it pertains to the 33 hidden laws. Secrets drain energy. Not privacy. We're not talking about private matters. We're talking about burdensome concealment. Burdensome concealment. So, maintaining false fronts consumes energy through stress and fragmentation. Truthful living often feels lighter. So the main understanding is what you need to know when it pertains to this of secrets drains energy, is that it's about being authentic. It's not about putting up fronts and pretending to act a certain way. It's always best to be authentic and be real and be honorable with people. Do not pretend to be something that you're not. Remember, we covered integrity. Be who you truly are. It doesn't mean you tell everybody everything about yourself. Only tell them what is relevant and let them figure out according to how you emanate your character. But the thing is, do not perpetuate deception and lies. It's about integrity. That's what brings the burden upon your mind and your heart. You do not need to tell everybody everything about yourself necessarily. We're not talking about private matters that only meant for your family, etc. We're talking about matters when it comes to general moral character and your overall integrity when it comes to you as a person. That's what it's about. So it's about operating in authenticity, operating truthfully, being honorable, operating in good faith. That's what this is about. Because you don't want to have your mentality under stress, full of anxiety or nervousness, based on you feeling uncomfortable about something because you told a deception or lie. You want to keep that out. Stay with integrity. If you do not want to tell somebody something, say it outright that I don't want to tell you this right now, but I can tell you this. It's a private matter that I'm dealing with or whatever. That's being authentic. That's operating integrity. When the time comes, things will be revealed, but right now I'm still working through it or whatever it may be. Let them know. You have to literally operate in integrity. You have to operate with a moral character and foundation. That's what it is. Everybody does not have to know everything about you. It's not about that. There's a time and place and season for everything. But it's about integrity. It's about honesty. It's about being genuine and authentic. That's what this is about. You don't want to have a heavy heart. You want your heart to operate as light as a feather. That's what it's about. Authenticity. So let's go to the next slide. Number 21 is self-mastery. The body stores stress. Stress is not only mental. It often appears as tension, shallow breathing, fatigue, digestive issues, agitation, body regulation matters. So the important aspect when it comes to this part of self-mastery, 21, is that your body will function much better when it has minimal stress. You don't want to exasperate and amplify the stress in your life, because that's only going to create harm. It's going to cause transferable harm to others through the destructive interference that the stress is magnifying the issues within you. So you want to relieve the stress in your life as much as possible. So in order to relieve stress, the best way to relieve stress is to have quiet time in your life, is to let out what's on your mind, is to exercise, is to have a walk, is to have a bike ride. That's how you let stress out. It's to talk with someone that you trust, to let the mental anxiety, the nervousness out, the mental stress out. If you have like a emotional issue, talk with someone you trust. Let it out. Release that. Let it go. You want your heart to be as light as a feather. That's the whole point of relieving stress, diminishing stress in your body. Stress has a positive side and a negative side. So you have to keep that in mind. The positive side of stress is when you're working to become better. So repetition creates the avenue for you to become better. When you're practicing an art and skill, or when you're training your body in exercise, that type of stress can be beneficial when it's properly regulated and monitored. So as it says out there, body regulation matters. Body regulation matters. So you have to monitor your mind and body and find solutions and avenues to relax, rest, and even let out the stress in some form or fashion. Find ways to bring enjoyment and happiness to your life. That's how you master your energy. You have to alchemize the stress into something that is going to benefit your mental and psychological, emotional states. So you're feeling good during the day rather than feeling bad with a destructive interference looming over your life. You want to alchemize that into a constructive interference that's going to become conducive and conductive for your life when it comes to your goals and your endeavors, your vision and your mission in life. So let us go to number 22. Number 22 of self-mastery. Rest restores intelligence. Exhaustion reduces judgment, memory, patience, and creativity. Rest is not laziness. It is maintenance, revitalization, and rejuvenation. So as we mentioned earlier, my brothers and sisters, making time to relax and rest and operate in stillness to self-reflect is an important aspect to revitalizing and rejuvenating your state of mind. You need this time of rest. You need to set times of rest to emotionally regulate your psychological mentality, to relieve the stress from your body through some type of action that you may perform that makes you feel good, whether it's meditation, whether it's operating and walking through nature, which is probably one of the best avenues to immediately drop your stress, your nervousness and anxiety, because you're getting that fresh, full, abundant chi, ki, ka, ra, prana, mana, numa, ru, chi, ki, ka, ra, prana, mana, numa, ru, chi, ki, ka, ra, prana, mana, numa, ru. So what am I saying? I'm sure a lot of you know what chi is. Chi is the life energy. It's the vital energy that you're getting on a daily basis when you're breathing in, when you're in a natural, positively constructive environment of your energy regulation. So a natural environment will provide you that. The good feng shui is in almighty nature. That's going to help you relieve your nervousness, your anxiety, the stress in your life. That's the activity you got to do on a consistent basis. You got to get to a natural environment. Return back to the foundation of life itself, which is almighty nature. So rest restores intelligence. So this allows you time to calm your mind down and think clearly without outside noise and interference. This allows you to emotionally regulate yourself, to gather your energy, to control your energy in motion, to bring it back under control and regulation and free flow in an organized and structured way, back into peace and harmony, which is an essential part of you operating back at your pinpoint peak pinnacle of your potential. So it's about revitalization and rejuvenation. A key important aspect is breath control, breath regulation. The key to overcoming these emotional, destructive interferences in your life when it comes to stress, nervousness, anxiety, is simply controlling your breath, regulating your breath, practicing meditation and breath techniques to get your body back to harmony and peace. So these are the main solutions you got to do on a consistent basis. Rest is an important part to making yourself better, because without rest, you won't have a refreshed mind and body. And you need a refreshed mind and body to obviously perform at your best, to do your best when you're putting in your work to fulfill your vision and your mission, your agendas that you want to get complete. So number 23. Wow, it's already been 20 minutes. Going by quick. So now we're on number 23 of self-mastery. Clarity requires silence. As we mentioned before, my brothers and sisters, noise crowds perception. noise crowds perception. Noise takes you away from your focus and concentration. And as I've mentioned before earlier in the Self-Mastery, focus is the currency. Knowledge comprehensively. Natural immunity. Electrical activity. Divine mental ability. Vibratory utility. Distractions break you in fractions. You know it's time to take action to change that. So you want to remove yourself from the noise. Noise crowds perception. Silence allows pattern recognition, emotional processing, better decision making, because it brings more clarity to your mind when you operate in silence. When you have noise all around you, distractions, it brings more stress to your mind and body. So you want to be in a quiet, silent, organized, and clean environment for you to function and emotionally and psychologically regulate your mind, your mentality, the way you think, the way you feel through your senses. You want to recalibrate yourself in silence. And this will allow clarity to freely flow within your whole physiology, every cell in your being. This allows you to reset and recalibrate yourself back to 0 point. And then when you begin to take action again to initiate the directive motion of the oneness, this allows you to function at your highest pinpoint peak pinnacle of your potential. So let us move to number 4 on self-mastery. This is what it's all about. Life is about adaptability. That's the master key, the major key. So number 24 when it comes to self-mastery. Pride blocks learning. Pride says, I already know. I shouldn't need help. I can't admit error. This stalls progress. Remember, my brothers and sisters, is that pride is one of the 7 deadly sins that hold you down in your lower self, preventing you from rising and elevating. Rise is about rhythmic intelligence, sacred energy. You can't operate in your higher self if you're full of pride. Even though pride is an emotional state of feeling highly about yourself, that you're the superior over everybody, that's what a prideful person, that's their psychological nature, a person of pride, excessive pride, that's their condition. The problem with pride, it closes off your mind from learning. So the point of this is that you want to overcome this lower nature, contrary to it being contrary to the point of it being of seeing yourself at a high level state of mind based on your pride, that no one could tell you nothing because you know it all. This prevents you from learning and growing. So you're pretty much stuck at a plateau when you're operating in the state of pride. So you want to let this destructive interference of a mentality go and be more open to learn, because life is a school of learning. There's always something to learn. If you haven't mastered everything in life, there really is no need for you to become prideful at all, in any level. It makes no sense to be prideful. You could have some level of pride, but at the same time, you got to have some openness. So the more proper word would be have confidence and conviction in the knowledge you know, while at the same time, have the moral code and have the character in you to respect information from others, especially if it's going to add to you. If it adds to what you already got, why refuse to listen? If it could make you more dynamic and radical and increase your abilities overall, or allow you to see something that you haven't seen before and that you should take in consideration, why close yourself off from others? So it's always important to operate in wisdom and give yourself the opportunity to listen to what others have to say, because a wise person makes it a priority sequence to listen to others, no matter their age. Whether it's a baby, it doesn't matter. You can learn something from everybody. Because sometimes older folks get too caught up in their elderly ways that they forget to enjoy and let go, like children do. They're quick to forgive. They're quick to get up and move. They imagine, they enjoy as much as possible. They operate in a state of enlightenment in a way, because they have a high consciousness when it comes to their mentality overall. When it comes to their emotional state, they're always learning, they're always curious about things and developing themselves. They're learning how to stand up, they're learning how to sit, they're learning how to master their body. They're in the process of growth and development in the very early stages of life. So they're a reminder of that you need to master yourself. Although you have mastered standing up and walking, running, and jumping, there's things that you can improve upon in your life, even physically. Yes, you may be able to do 50 push-ups. So what? Do 100. Yes, you may be able to run. Run faster. Yes, you could calculate this. Calculate a higher number. There's always something you could improve upon. Yes, you may have knowledge in this niche. But what about this niche? Do you know about this niche? Or this topic? And is this topic going to be helpful and assistive to your goals and your endeavors? So you better start learning about that as well. Don't get caught up in pride. Be willing to learn. Be willing to grow. There's nothing wrong with having confidence and conviction with your knowledge and your abilities, but always lend an ear. Always lend your ears. There's a reason why we have 2 ears on our head. We should be listening double the amount of time that we should be speaking. That's how a wise person moves. That's how a wise one moves. We should be listening double the amount of time that we should be talking. Listening is far more important than our speech. It's more important to listen than it is to talk. If you're going to talk, let your results talk for you more than you talk for yourself. That's how a real person moves. Let your results, let your production, let others talk for you more than you talk about yourself. That's the priority here. Listening is number one. Let others speak for you that have seen the production, that have seen your results. And then to add on, you speak for yourself. But the main point here is listen more than you speak. Whether it's someone else speaking or you're speaking, listen more than you speak. Because it's more important to listen and observe. Because every time you speak, you're only going to expose yourself if you speak too much. Only speak when necessary. That's how a wise one moves. Only speak when necessary. Keep it brief and concise. Don't overtalk. The only thing that you should be overdoing is listening. Overdo the listening, minimize your speech. And let your results speak for you. Whatever the results may be, whatever you are servicing whatever you're showing, let the results speak. And if people have questions, then you speak. It's about listening. Listening is an art and skill that must be mastered. There's too many people in the world that speak nonstop. They overspeak. It's about listening more than you speak. So anyways, let's conclude. We're on number 25. So we're going to quickly go through this. So number 25 of self-mastery. Humility and modesty increases accuracy. And as we talked about before, it's about integrity. It's about integrity. You don't want to be over-exaggerating. You do not want to be lying to yourself and deceiving others. Humility is not self-belittlement. It is reality-based openness. Modesty is about balanced estimations of self, never overestimations. So the main point here is that you want to tell people your skills and your abilities, but you don't want to over-exaggerate. You want to keep your speech to a minimum, like I mentioned before, and let your results speak for you. And if that person has questions about something, then you speak. But when they're talking, shut your mouth and listen. And you wait till they give you opportunity to speak. That's the art of self-mastery. And control your emotions. You don't need to be bragging. There's no need to brag. There's a time and place to brag, but majority of the time, you don't even bother bragging. Let your results brag for you. Let your production and your service brag for you. Let others do that for you most of the time. Nothing wrong with bragging about yourself, but let others do that for you most of the time. That's the art of humility and modesty. Humility is not self-belittlement. It is reality-based openness. Modesty is about balanced estimations of yourself, never overestimation or exaggeration. It allows correction, listening. Listening, when we break it down, listen, when we break it down, means to list, enter. List, enter. List, enter. You're entering a list. You're entering notes. Taking notes is more important than anything, because that's how you come to an equal standing with each other. You're standing on equal ground, and in order for you to understand what someone is saying, you should be taking notes, whether it's mentally and physically, and ask questions before you make any presumptions or assumptions. Ask questions before you make presumptions and assumptions, because questions are the master key to clarification. Questions are the master key to clarification. When you're asking, you're standing as the king. You're regulating the energy, the conversation, the relationship in structure and order. And a king is very quick to listen. A true sovereign is quick to listen, because a sovereign knows if you speak with presumption and assumption, you're only going to make yourself look like a fool. So it's best to make sure you know what's going on first before you open your mouth. So we're going to end it at 25, and we're going to cover the rest another day, starting with 26 as it pertains to self-mastery. So tune in for that. So as always, as usual, as you can see here, the most dangerous person is the one who listens, thinks, and observes. You saw that, right? Pay attention. This is why it's more important to listen. Observe your environment and listen. You got to know what you're talking about by knowing who the person is knowing what type of environment you're in, and knowing what each thing is all about. At an energetic level, at a mental level, a psychological level, you got to know what you're dealing with. You got to gather the intelligence of your environment within your cipher of life before you take strategic action and tactful action in your life. You got to know your environment. This is why this is so important. Listening is an art and skill that must be mastered. Always remember that. Listen double the amount of time that you let your mouth speak. And if you're going to speak, let your results speak for you. Let your accomplishments speak for you. And do not overestimate yourself. Exercise integrity by being modest and operating in a state of openness, humbleness. Be open to learn and grow. Because there's always something to learn in life. There's not one person on this planet that has mastered everything in this life. No one has mastered everything. So everybody has something to learn. Everybody has something to grow in. Doesn't matter who it is. That includes myself. There's always something for me to learn. There's always something for me to grow in. No one has mastered everything in life. That's the reality. That's the fire of truth. No one is at an elite level at everything they do in life. That's a lie. That's a deception. Everybody has something to learn and grow from. So anyways, my brothers and sisters, we're going to put this to a conclusion. That's the fire of truth and nothing but the whole living, unified truth. Until next time, my brothers and sisters, stay sitting at your seats for more Supreme Natural Intelligence, Sacred Culture Lab Blaze coming forward and being scheduled on the YouTube channel here. Subscribe if you're about elevating your consciousness, if you're about knowledge and wisdom and intelligence when it comes to self-mastery and sacred ancient sciences of the occult and arcane knowledge. Tune in. We're going to be going in health, wellness, and vitality. We're going to be coming with presentations, breaking it all down holistically. You know what time it is. Sun raising your consciousness with confidence. Sacred culture. You know what time it is. Enlighten your world. Peace.
Check it, listen, coming through for your bun. I'm an intellectual to the precise decimal of mathematical root radicals. So we see this, I mean this, the fire of truth. From the sheer might, the fire of truth.
Light up the chalice and tell them to. That's the fire ever safe and secure. Hands are fi clean and your heart are fi pure.